For 25 years, so we built the house in '88, and so that's why I think it was more special to us, because we picked that location and everything about it. So it really was kind of almost like a cottage feel in that area. So right, we had a crawl space, and in the '05 flood it did get in the crawl space, and that was a bad flood. That was 3 weeks of flooding. And it was kind of bad because of the mold in the crawl space. So after that, we filled in our yard 4 feet all the way around, took all the trees out, and we put $90,000 into fixing things for preventing future run into our house. And that didn't really pay off, because there it came, and there was nothing stopping that one. No, I didn't want to go back, and I still stand by that I knew that it was not savable there. It was so bad. It wasn't just the house. I mean, everybody's house flooded. It was if people went there and walked around and knew it was there before and saw this horrible mess of stuff all mixed up in a soup and everything torn apart, it was so violent. It really was scary. It was scary to think about going back there for that to happen. So it was a very bittersweet thing, because it was my home and I loved it, but I knew I couldn't, no one could go back there. Well, it was neat because there were so many trees and birds and deer, and it was, every house had its own character, and some of them were really old. Like across the street was the original office that was the Line-A-Maker sawmill office, and someone lived there as a house, and lots of stuff like that. Really good character there, and so it was really a nice neighborhood to live in. And people would say you live behind that Center Street there, but they'd never driven back there, so it was sort of a hidden charm. I was really prepared for it, and I asked for them to wait so we could be there for that, and I'm glad I went, because it was sort of like a funeral. And it's, sometimes if someone dies and you don't go to the funeral, you kind of forget about the closure part of, you even forget that they died sometimes. And I just think it was really important for us to see that and feel it, and it felt pretty good actually, because they had torn all the other houses down around us, and it was looking beautiful there. And I can't wait for it to be a park and to go back there, and it's great access to the river. So there was a lot of positive feeling. There was some sad things, and they went in and they got a few bricks from our house, so I have a few of them, and but it was okay. Well, I know I don't really want them to develop it, but I know that they're kind of, they're taking all the concrete out and they're taking it back to that nature state, and that's really where I want it to stay. I think it just needs to be a place where people can go, and it's real and it's nature, and you can get to the river. You can't get to the river in High River anymore, and so it's a great spot for that. But back around that curve, there's a swimming hole, and like it really is a great. I'm just trying to, it's part of my past, and there's a bad part at the end of it, and I just don't want to carry bad stuff into my future. So I'm choosing to leave it behind and not take it with me.